Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we've got the semifinals. This is the milsim Units Eye in the Sky Invitational 2024. Do make sure to check out milsimunits.com down in the description below. And if you're just watching this video or you're still trying to understand what's going on, we've had an 8-team knockout tournament, and this past weekend we had the semifinals, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and this is all leading up to the championship on July 7th. But a lot of you guys wanted some more games. The competition also wanted some more games, and milsimunits.com said, hey, what if we were actually to give a prize for third place as well? So we're doing that. First place is $1,500, second place is $500, but now third place is also $250. Now I know people are gonna meme and joke that, what is that, Moi, like $2 a person? Okay, yes, but also maybe you can get your team's graphics professionally done, or maybe you can pay for your server for a couple months. Maybe you can get a website or a Discord boost or whatever. Hopefully this prize money can go somewhere where the team uses it. And I'm just excited that we're able to extend the prize purse and make that third place game actually worth fighting for. So Saturday, July 6th is the third place game. Sunday, July 7th is the championship. If you want to watch it live, make sure to follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/MoiDawg. And if for whatever reason you do miss it, don't worry. Just like the semifinals, I'm going to be uploading both the third place and the championship match to YouTube the week after it happens. But that's enough of talking. Let's get into the semis. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and drop me a comment below who you think is going to take the championship on July 7th. Enjoy the video. Peace. First game of the second day of the semifinals, Ukraine Unity Frontline up against Tactical Triggernometry. Winner faces Squad All-Stars Germany in this best of 3. First round, Mulcon, Reece, V2. We're going to let the squads get their squads all set up here in just a second here as we get popped on here. So yesterday we saw an all-Eastern rollout from Mulcon, Reece, V2. Today we're seeing an all-Western. This is actually a very difficult, I think, site to fight on due to the southern objectives, I think, are actually in Tactical Trigonometry's favor due to how much open ground between them. We'll have to see, but you have a lot of easy places to get infantry in and start creeping up. So we'll have to see just exactly how that front line develops as teams are now set. Going to hop in our cast squad here so we can start listening in. Top left of your screen, Tactical Trigonometry in red. They're outlined and vehicle players are going to be in red here. Ukraine Unity Frontline in blue. Their outlined and vehicle players are blue. That Russian flag is due to the Russian unit that they selected here, which is the Russian Ground Forces 3rd Motor Rifle Brigade, with the Tactical Trig selecting the USMC with that USMC flag, 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. So, as they chatter about what they want to do, let's take a look at the units real quick. We are very familiar with this Motor Brigade. 3 BTR-82As, 2 BRDMs, 1 BTR-80, a couple transports, a couple Logis, all wheeled, and a T-90A spawning in about 13 minutes. MI-8 as well, 1 helicopter for the good, up against a couple, 1 actually wheeled Logi, 2 track Logis, 3 transports, these wheeled transports, 2 of the 50 cal Humvees, 3 LAV-25s, and then 2 AAVPs with the 50 cals and 40 millimeter grenade launchers, 1 M1A1 variant of the Abrams, and then 2 helicopters, so a little bit more visibility they got here. Western layout, as we said, from north to south. Ukraine Unity Frontline starting on the north spawn, going to North Orchard, then North Market, all the way to Zatar Compound, Baraka Suburbs, Crash Site, and then Four Corners, finally wrapping up with South Orchard. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit for you guys so you can see it a little more clearly. And then our teams here, as we have a minute left, we are going to be on board with Ukraine Unity Frontline, led by Command Squad, Squad 1, Sweet Ducky, Difficult, Nico, Squad 2, led by Pest, Punk Q, Hikari, Foma, Squad 3, Shinigami, Honor, Drektier, Green Mix, Squad 3, Mori, Squad 4, Solja and Pupsik. Squad 5, led by Asawan, Hi, Procent, Manastorm, Cud. Squad 6, led by Jabba. Squad 7, led by Otto and Kaplan. Squad 8, AKG, Pluxury, LEV, and Sandstorm. Squad 9, Spam, Phantom, Reece, Rikishini, Navarro, Jekun. Squad 10, Lupine Dominus, Say Meow Reaper. Squad 11, Asket, Quezi, refed by Polars. And we also have a couple UF members coming in. Looks like Kiss and Ingvar coming in due to those power issues. So hopefully those get settled as soon as possible. But we are live. We are a go. Both sides should know pretty early on that it is going to be a Western layout. The moment that North Market kind of shows up, you're almost certain you're going to have at least have a few points down in the city on the Western side. So maybe an initial push we see down south. Squad 3 with Shinigami, Mori, Drektir, Green Mix, Honor. They are pushing out towards this ammo warehouse. But aside from that, not much to do on the island. You're having, a Squad 3. This is a 50 cal Humvee starting off, and they need to be careful, Ukraine Unity Frontline. First, transport's going to... when they split. Both of them split. Yeah, Ukraine have one transport going west, one south towards the ammo warehouse, and they're actually no longer going to see Squad 3 led by Wolf with that Humvee pushing on up. So BRDM out to our east as well, or out to our west rather. Say Meow and Reaper trying to get that control on the island, and it looks like... Well, it looks like USMC, DarKRedruM, ignoring the island completely, saying with this South Orchard, well, you might not even have to worry about it. And the first shots might be with LPFJ2 and his Humvee crew, because we got Ukraine Unity Frontline. Something. Something just exploded, not quite sure. And North Orchard nearly secured, but look at the amount of pressure DarKRedruM already has. And yeah, they see the multiple lavs down on the south side. BTR is trying to ambush. You got a lot of armor. LAV's finally taking damage, but they're focusing on one. Soldier and poops it. They're going to go down. Smoke not in time. And 2 lavs against 3-4 vehicles here. You need 3 LAVs actually. Drizzle and Vex here as well. You need to make sure you don't lose all your IFVs right from the start, and they're pushing Drizzle and Vex. Oh my goodness, the amount of damage that the Ukraine Unity Frontline vehicles have compared to the damage that they've put out as an RPG flies right over Crystal and Micro Meat. Helix and Clarkson, they're going in, and wow. One BTR 82 down. We see a BTR 80 as well, taking a lot of damage, but Pupsik unfortunately losing his BTR 82, and you see the focus fire from DarKRedruM compared to the more sporadic fire with Ukraine Unity Frontline, and unfortunately for Ukraine, that is not a good situation to be in as Tactical Triggernometry look at this frontline develop already. This is going to be very tough to crack. Ukraine's going to have to start to establish that front line. You already have pokes up Marcinek, the Pie Master Wolf, Jarek pushing north, and they're going to see the infantry of Squad 9, and they're already going to know what the point is. These northern scouts, now they have the entire map just scouted out. LPFJ2 and Killjoy pushing on up. Jekun looking the wrong way. Wow, Jekun looking east instead of looking south, and that's going to allow a couple DarKRedruM infantry to sneak on in. More BTRs trying to take a few shots at the helicopter. Looks like his Frost does a little bit of evasive, not too concerning. But what is concerning is you need to be able to see this infantry. Jekun, ooh, LPF J2 and Killjoy, some good trigger discipline. And they're now about to do ring around the rosy here. You want to spot these guys. If not, you're going to have your fob spotted, radio spotted. And look at that, Killjoy just holding. And he sees him, is going to allow him to pass. Never mind, full auto. Jekun goes down. Instead of full auto, rather a burst fire. And now Spam knows that he is not alone up here. Infantry already being marked. So we're going to let Squad 9 deal with that because now you have this push just a little south. Look at the map control attack Trig already has, but Procent, no, Marcinek and Mathmaster go down. Good shots by Procent. Wolf now trying to creep up, figure out where he is. And Procent holding the angle, nearly takes him out. Wolf has to reload. And they trade. Procent does go down, but manages to stemmy this little attack out from the southeast. But this is already looking bad for Ukraine Unity Frontline. You need to now work on your harassment on that south side. But the amount of vehicles here probably going to snuff anything out. Jack John, Pink Panther, Robbie. All these guys can just float right back with infantry and vehicles and not have any issues. Jack John, Pink Panther in that AAV. Good 50 cal and 40 millimeter. And Ops now trying to take some shots. Ops with that hat kit on that main camp route. And you see Squad 12 right behind him. DJ Sway and John G's man. Doesn't look like Ops managed to actually hit anything just yet. Fired but missed. And they're just going to keep harassment up here. Not too... Comms, you see a lot of marks. They're saying they want infantry, or they want their vehicles maybe holding here. But the problem you're going to start seeing is this southern flank. It's almost what we saw with Squad All-Stars Germany as Jarek knocks out, it looks like TK'd by Maverick, Manastorm going around the backside of this building. But this southern push here, you can see they ambushed a Ukraine Unity Frontline transport. So Manastorm goes down to a good grenade. Looks like Maverick just tossed that grenade and manages to find him hiding in the corner. Ukraine Unity Frontline. We'll just have 4 corners and hold on a second. Past Hikari Tunk. Looks like they're trying to put some harassment in the back. And they are going to be able to do it with that BRDM. Hikari actually being able to try to get some DPS onto this. And you can see if they can harass a little bit more on the south side, you can relieve the pressure from the north. But look at the difference in blue and red on this map here. 4 corners was just secured. Now Tac Trig able to push into crash site. But the LAV is going to come in. Drizzle and Vex are about to just smoke Hikari looking the wrong way. And oh, Drizzle, Vex looking the wrong way. Hikari runs over his buddy here. And now you have multiple labs. This is what we're talking about. Crystal, Micro coming in, Drizzle, Vex, Jack John, Pink Panther. You have 3 labs and an AAVP, and that's going to say hello to this BRDM. Rally was squashed as well. Infantry down. Foma, Hikari go down. And this harassment squad now left with Pest and Punk. Or is it Tunk rather? Tunk Q. They're going to have to try something else. But what you need to do is to get back control on your north side of the city. And wow, no, we already have a radio that is being dug down by Zero. somehow grabbing his shovel and C4. We heard that called out by Squad All-Stars Germany yesterday. Get your C4 and shovel ready. Well, he had it ready as a grenade goes off. Sweet Ducky going down. Sandstorm now coming in as well. And there's even sandbags up on the back here. Zero with a good angle, and he nails it. Sandstorm goes down, trying to push the radio, but AKG mops him up. Zero trying to last stand that. AKG, good hold, but this type of stall up on the north side is not what Ukraine needed.
А чё ни одной каски возле хаба? Вы метки будете ставить, парни? Так на фобе, не на хабе. Слушай, смотри на правый фланг. Фоба зріло не встигло засейвити. Блять, ну фоба згодь.
Crash site just about secure, then moving into Baraka suburbs. And the radio was actually, I believe, dug down, deciding to just clear that out, not worry about it, and reset. So if anything, you might not have lost the tickets for it, but you're forced to now delay your defensive position as mortars come in. You still have Lizzia up top here, keeping eyes on. And the map control right now, DarKRedruM just having a much better rollout, getting infantry shift Wing from the south side of the city all the way up to the very, pretty much first point of Ukraine Unity front line. Lizzia's still up in the middle here. Oh, and hold on, Oops! We called him out earlier as a harassment squad. Oops, with that hack kit. BTR 80 has no idea where that even came from. And trying to smoke out. Curious as how they didn't kind of spot the smoke here, and they might actually just roll over the rally. Oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. Just the timing, the location. If they had just rolled a little bit further, they would have actually squashed the rally. Instead, they stop out, dismount to repair. John G's man nails him with the rifle, and then Luxury LUV is going to crawl away as Oops might get that second AT into the back. Oops might actually be out of ammo trying to get around. John G's man does go down. So does DJ Sway, but they don't squash that rally. And now Oops just laying down in the dirt trying to stay low. And he is out of ammo. He has to circle on back to try to get that AT up. But now you actually have a 50 cal Humvee. I believe he's coming in, trying to either come in for ammo or even for the kill here. Zero coming in, the combat engineer we saw earlier, and he's going to try to shove his Humvee over this fence. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Oops just desperately sprinting down, trying to get some ammo. Now you got mortars coming in on the BTR 80 as well. As Ukraine Unity Frontline tries to focus in and reset. Mortars now harassing this BTR 80. Alps resets. DJ Sway respawning, and he's going to try to drop his ammo bag. Alps rearming that hack kit. Try to get in a good shot, let the smoke clear from the mortars. This should be an easy kill. Oh, BRDM, or a BTR rather. Fighting back a little bit, trying to keep his head down. Mortar's still going off. And there it... Did they lose it? Oh, the mortars actually mop him up. And finally pops. Good shot. Ops managed to get that AT in the backside. Mortars as well helping. But eventually goes down. A little bit of everything from DarKRedruM. And the BTR 80 is lost. And more importantly, as a lot of resources were being focused on this side, that didn't take anything away from the push up through the city. Ukraine Unity Frontline is absolutely scattered right now. T90 marked up here. You have the M1A1 flanking around way east. And more mortars coming in as Tactical Triggernometry have managed to snuff out another FOB position. You can look at all the Ukraine Unity front line. They're inside this hab, and they're trying to get everyone up. And unfortunately, that's going to prevent them from pushing out and creating space. DJ Sway, Killjoy, and Zero out east. They're starting to just push in. And now you have a nice little motorized convoy coming in. Try and just pepper infantry. 198 tickets to 285. Frost now rolling out. Trying to get eyes, and you saw that. Oh, BTRs now. And Frost really trying that evasive. You saw the T90 nearly take a shot at him. Flew right by. BTR 80s now coming in. Frost is very, very low. Oh, and they're distracted him. Jack John and Panther. Jack John and Panther managing to take a couple shots, I believe, at that T90 as they were distracted by the helicopter. Otto and Kaplan, we can see over the hill here, and wow, they've actually managed to hit that turret. That T90 turret, very strong turret, but you can see it's a hold down position. You see just that top machine gun. Jack John able to get a good first shot off, and now Otto and Kaplan, it doesn't look like they're damaged. Armor maybe doing its work, but you need to be very careful with how you take this armor fight, because if you lose this, it creates even more of a problem out on your east side. And we can see as the tanks play chess a little bit, the front line, Ukraine Unity front line, now actually starting to establish a little bit more of the southern control. And Jack John and Pink Panther might get the jump on Otto and Kaplan. Side armor. Who's going to see it first? Otto laying into. Jack John doesn't see it. And there it goes. Jack John and Pink Panther take the first shot. And that one from the Abrams actually hit the turret. Doesn't look like it even pinned. Otto and Kaplan using that strong frontal armor. Another one into it. Otto and Kaplan, I don't think they're taking damage just yet. The Abrams needs to not shoot at that strong frontal and whole armor. And no, Otto and Kaplan missed the first shot. Trying to re-arm for a second one, and then finally impacts. But Jack John and Pink Panther, look at that green bar under Otto, and Jack John under Pink Panther rolling back, and Otto, now it's almost even. Otto and Kaplan taking a couple of shots without being able to respond just yet. This good rolling back and forth. Otto needs to make sure this one counts. And oh no, Otto and Kaplan, they might actually go down here because you have a quicker reload with the Abrams, and they're going to do it here. And oh my goodness, Jack John and Pink Panther managed an absolutely crazy armor kill after doing no damage for multiple shots. Kaplan and Otto, they're going to want that one back that went into the hillside in front of the Abrams. Jack John and Pink Panther might have just clinched it for Tac Trig in the opening round on Mutaha. BTR now in no man's land, and it's going to be a second one. And 162 tickets to 291. Wow. That was Ukraine's chance to relieve the pressure, and you can see they're now coming in. Crystal, Drizzle, Opes, you got the Lavs flanking. They're closing in on east side. We have a FOB now on the southwest side. Zatar compound. Ukraine Unity front line has almost no front line right now. North Market, they are getting pinched. Great armor duel on the north side, and now it might go from bad to worse because you have a lone BTR 82, and you have some Roman Tac Trig Lab 6s. And they're going to be... They marked a tank earlier. I think they're just making sure there's nothing else around here. Because you don't want even just an infantry laying in the dirt and spotting your tank. And Asket might be able to get one lab. Lab's going to see him, and now comms are lighting up, and, well, they're going to go around and get flanked in by the second one, and now 2-on-1. That is going to be GG for the BTR 82A. And 146 tickets to 283.
В нас замінов, я бачу, у нас тут міни лежать по дорозі. Міни отут, біля десяток.
Let's take a look at our infantry duels, because although the vehicles have gone completely wrong for Ukraine Unity Frontline, we can see they are managing to push back a little bit on this southern side of North Market. It's not all doom and gloom. Infantry fights, and you have still about 40 minutes. Oh, just lost the BTR out east, and that's, all right, a little bit more doom and gloom. But looking at the infantry fights, rather, still no command assets. We see a UAV now popping up. If you can get a good push, clear out a fob, recap this objective, and you see Reaper, Sandstorm, Race, Navarro, Phantom, the blue outlines just at the top of your screen here. That is Ukraine Unity Frontline. They are in spitting distance of capturing this and getting a nice little ticket bump. And just like yesterday, Squad All-Stars Germany lost the armor fights, but they really managed to win the infantry duel, so it is possible. I just don't know if Ukraine's going to have the fortitude to stick into it with this one. They know they're on not just the back foot. Almost feels that some moments in these fights they have no feet. Everything seems to be just going Tac Trig's way. Zero going around. He might be able to bandage in time. He's already sniffed out 1 or 2 radios. And Say Meow pops. Little BRDM in the desert. No chance against 3 labs. Now let's stick in with this infantry fight here. Marcinek holding around, and he manages to do it. Reaper goes to push him. Marcinek holding the angle, and he does finally go down. Race mops him up, but good little close quarters fight by Marcinek here. And this is what you need. You need these onesie-twosies to go your way through Ukraine. Asket, Zhekun, they have been evicted from their vehicles. And now trying the infantry fights. LPF J2 pushing up, and there you go. Zhekun goes full auto into LPF. And another compound cleared by Ukraine. A lot of bodies down. They can't waste the tickets. This eastern side is still going to be a problem, though. A handful of infantry fights and duels might change that. Manastorm and Nikiro trying to hold this this eastern field. Zakafel crouching his way through. Nico trying to clear the compound. Actually, nobody to worry about in there, but he doesn't know that. Zakafel might run into Manastorm just here. And actually, Zakafel might get good eyes on Manastorm first. Manastorm crouches and misses all of his shots. Hold on, a second one goes in. They're both trading blows, and both manage to miss. Get enough into each of them that they're going to have to bandage, but you might not want to bandage right away. No, Manastorm is going for the bandage right away. Zakafel instead pushing around the back. Doesn't need to worry just yet. Manastorm might not realize Zakafel is around the corner here. Playing a little Bush Wookiee simulator, and he's going to see him. Oh, no, he turns around, and he's going to go for the bandage, goes prone, and he manages to get him. Zakafel had the opportunity, probably didn't see him in the Bush Wookiee. And Manastorm is now going to bandage, and good little fight. Nice duel to hold off this eastern side. And this is starting to turn Ukraine Unity's way. You need to win those fights that Manastorm just did, and you're going to start now pushing out a little bit. You do need your hat kits to show up. We do have a hat kit. Manastorm we just saw, but he needs to get a pick on this LAV. Quick now, a TAC Trig hat kit pushing on the north side. But if you can clear out a couple of these vehicles and allow some space for your infantry, well, you might be in business here. Reece now pushing in on Sussy, and it looks like helicopters, and oh my goodness, the autocannons. Well, look at these LAVs, and they're all around a repair station, so they got ammo for days. While they're distracted, AT actually hits. Oh, they rotored him! Jabba loses a tail rotor, and it looks like he might manage to. No, he doesn't! Nearly manages to control it, but the Lavs stick with it, and down goes Jabba. One of the Lavs did take AT in the middle of that while they were distracted, but hey, you get now a helicopter advantage. 96 tickets to 247. All right, now we have this Zatar compound. What we thought Ukraine, Unity Frontline, we thought they're going to be able to push in. And because of the vehicle advantage, you're now running into Lavs that you just can't take care of because you have enough infantry, and TAC Trig, they're going to be able to break out of this southern push that Ukraine had. Jekun holding the high ground, Jarek below him. Once again, you still need to win these fights and allow your AT a chance to get on the Lavs. And Jarek's gonna see you. No, Jarek! What a misplay. Jekun gets turned on, but sends it right back. Jarek goes down. Jekun able to hold his building, and that's gonna give a little bit more breathing room. And I'm hearing, I think I'm seeing a command strike here come in. We'll see. This is a watering hole situation. All the Lavs on this repair station. I thought I saw a command ability pop in for a second. And a lot of map markers popping up. But I'm curious why Manastorm, he's still out of position. You need your hats. Oh, and speaking of position, say Meow actually on the backside. And if Helix and Clarkson on this LAV, if they go down, that's something you can say, okay, we won one vehicle fight here. Now let's just keep the pressure up with our infantry. Say Meow trying to be very careful, and oh no! Being very careful, and the tandem round. Oh my God, there's nothing going right for Ukraine. Tandem round caught on the lip of that door frame. And the LAV is going to just head on back and not even worry about it. So, big artillery push. This is a chance Ukraine. They haven't been completely surrounded just yet. And this artillery might be able to help them out. Helix and Clarkson are pushing north. And I'm not seeing any type of hat. Manastorm you still have on the eastern side. You really need these hats to rotate a little bit. Helicopter coming in, giving it a good rearm for that repair station and mortars. Lav pushing on up. Now you got smoke mortars coming in. And first artillery barrage. The first ranging shot lands, and now Tactrig knows that they probably need to get out of that repair station. Jado gets one more round off with the mortar, and not going to be in time. And you can see Robbie in there with the shovel, just making sure if anything does go down, he's able to dig it right back up. He's going to be able to repair through it. Now, Ukraine, you have a lot of infantry on this north side. Spam, Kiss, Reece, Say Meow. If they can follow in this, they're going to be in position to at least contest this and get themselves back in this game. But you do need Say Meow on that hack kit to knock out one of these labs. And here it goes, the push in. Infantry fights have to hasten. No, Kiss Me goes down. Sinister now coming around. Can Reece save this push? The infantry just never getting a chance to follow in. Navarro even killed on the backside. And what was about to push in, well, the north side push is just falling apart. Phantom, Quasi, Reaper. You still need a little bit of infantry luck here. Shinigami finally on the cap. Heard some AT trying to come in as well. Another vehicle pops. And 66 tickets to 217. Shinigami has to come in. Good shots on Zakafel. Shinigami could get Robbie here, and he does. Jado's going to have to turn around and make sure this push just stays on the outside of the hab here. You can see the corner of the hab. Kerma just spawning in. If Ukraine Unity Frontline can get a couple more members, he's going to turn at the wrong moment. Shinigami nearly had the angle. Unfortunately, decides to push in a bit further, and Jado, good heads-up play. Unfortunately, Ukraine, they needed Mori, they needed Hikari to push in. Kerma does go down. Hikari taking the high ground. Hikari dodging a GL. And you can see Crystal. Oh, they actually get hit. They are on fire trying to roll in, and they need to put that fire out. I don't think it's going to be in. I don't think they're going to have to worry about it, actually. Double rep should come up in just a second. And nearly with a big lav pick, and instead, they're going to be able to dig up that repair station too. Fires out Micro with a good repair kit. And another AT, and oh my goodness, that's just miscommunication on Honor's part. Honor actually had the shot on this lab and instead chooses to poke at a second one. Really, not necessarily going to say it's game-changing, but it's going to prevent you from following up on this infantry push here. Ukraine getting pushed out on this southwestern push, and unfortunately, despite some good infantry plays, ultimately not going to do it. Just the vehicles falling back. Without any vehicle picks, I don't believe Tactrig have actually lost a single vehicle all round. Without a single vehicle pick, well, an infantry fight can be even, but it's never going to be even if you throw a vehicle in it. John G's man rolling up with DJ Sway, Ingvar, and Sweet Ducky, however, take out the gunner. And as good as an effort as it was to try to push in after that artillery, Tactrig have completely reset. Southwest is completely held as well. Drizzle, Vex, rearming, Crystal repairing, and another vehicle goes down. Oh, and it was the Humvee finally losing a vehicle. Humvee looks like he got mopped up due to some AT, but that is not going to be nearly enough. 206 tickets to 44. This push from the south side. You have a rally down from Ukraine. Unity Frontline. Shinigami trying once again to break through. And you can see the infantry fights start to go Ukraine's way. They're able to get into the hab areas, but then that call out, Tac Trig just floating back with their IFVs. And that is just the name of the game right now. Chris Webb now pushing out, trying to poke and see if they do run into that squad. Hikari on the high ground. Chris Webb might have actually spotted him. And goes for a little burst fire. Manages to get a couple shots in, but nothing really happening. Chris Webb flanking around. Can he do it? Shinigami goes down. And Chris Webb does finally go down, but knocks out the squad leader, and that's going to stop. Oh, and this is also not going to help. Lachlan and Kiwi Junimo, they have snuffed out this. I don't believe the rally is still up. Nope, it's a squad 3 rally. No more squad 3 rally. Only one more infantry. Hikari pushing up and 28 tickets to 205. There you go. Going to be going through the motions. You can see Ukraine Unity Frontline comms starting to quiet as they say, okay, that happened. Let's collect ourselves. We got Kohat coming up next. And that could be a very good turtle for them. They did lose a lot of vehicle fights in this game, but with 2 ATGMs per fob, you might be looking at that as your chance. Get some good vehicle picks and just win your infantry fights. Marcinex, Wolf, trying to push in with the mortars. Crystal and Micro shoving that lav right into the hab. And this radio will go down soon. Zero was on it. It is on bleed. And that will be GG's. AT misses, kind of the story of the game. Honor, unfortunately, not landing that. AKG trying to come in and get back on that radio. Mortars pounding the south side, actually going to prevent Tac Trig from getting back in and trying to secure the radio kill. 24 tickets. AKG looks like I think they're going to try to dig it down instead. Try to save those tickets. At this point, there's no saving this position. Sandstorm now on it. The lavs from Drizzle and Vex just pounding into the backside. No, they're trying to save it. No, they did dig it down. Yeah, they saved the tickets. So, and just in time too, LPFJ2 coming in. L Wolf as well. AKG, hey, at least you can hold it a little bit. Zakafel coming in. He might get a 2-piece, and he does. Zakafel full autos the alleyway. And there you go. That will be that. North Suburbs, or North Market rather, is now halfway to neutral. 19 tickets left, and Tac Trig.
11, у тебя до сих пор там тандем или нет? Да. Я попытался попасть по вертолету, пострелял. Верт я догнал на майской, если полетит, ему очень хуёво. Окей.
Trying to organize themselves potentially for the next round. 19 tickets to 200 as the last few will give up here. Looking for any more type of armor, not going to happen. You see Asket on the northeast side.
А на центральной нету тандема? 11-х? Я без понятия. Может сидеть, потому что надо тогда сидел, когда мы с вами выезжали. Так а что, я могу там выехать, где ты стоял или нет? Где я стоял, можешь попытаться по самому северу проехать. Учитывая то, что он меня не добил, у него, скорее всего, второго снаряда нет.
You see a lot of the infantry down. Most everyone on Ukraine Unity Frontline is actually down right now. They don't want to give up. Don't want to give the easy tickets. But Tac Trig managing to roll right through recon in the first round of the tournament. And if it wasn't for some of these vehicle picks, Ukraine Unity Frontline did actually look like they were winning the infantry battles at time, but TacTrig able to hold on to those Lav 6s, could just get back in into the fight. So good effort from Ukraine Unity Frontline's infantry. You need to win those vehicle battles, it looks like, if you want to have a chance to win a TacTrig game. And looks like they're bringing a vehicle out. Oh, Otto and Kaplan, round 2. This is for the game here. AT actually hits the turret. T90 might have lost his turret with that shot. Otto and Kaplan with 7 tickets left. This will be the game. But you want to try to... And Mortar's coming in as well. Oh my goodness. 2 tickets left, and it's probably going to tick on over. Oh, I don't know. AT is still pounding it. Mortars are hitting him, and Jack Johns is going to stay on the other side. 200 tickets to 0. Ukraine Unity Frontline going down on Mutaha. TacTrig continue their winning ways. 200 tickets to 0. 114 kills to 147. 58 revives to 58. 167 downs to 218. Not too much when it comes to the kill differential, but the vehicle definitely different here. Here we go, and we are on board with tactical Triggernometry. And one player looks like they're on the wrong side. They're swapping up. Jack John here. Definitely don't want to lose their armor based on how Jack John performed in the Abrams last round. But here we go. Kohat, this is the very first time we're seeing Kohat in the tournament. It was banned in a round 3. It was banned a couple times, also used as a round 3 a couple times as well. And, well, here we go. First look at Kohat, and what do we have? Very typical layer. Actually, very, very nice to get this type of layer. You don't have any very obvious or easy points next to either main. Very even. I think this is probably something, this type of layer exactly is something that both teams have planned and prepared for. So random advances secure. It can be random. It also can be kind of a planned preparation, and this is good for both teams. From the southwest corner, once again, we are on the People's Liberation Army, deciding to do the Combined Arms Brigade. Combined Arms for tactical Triggernometry up against the United States Marine Corps 2nd Logistics Group. So that's going to be multiple halves, multiple ATGMs. And also, if you look on here, if we were to swap sides, Ukraine Unity Frontline, they actually have intel on all the vehicles. So they can see what numbers out, they can see any timers. So good intel for Ukraine. So from the vehicle standpoint, a couple Logis as well as a few transports, one on a delay with those heavy machine guns on top. 2 of the CSK lightly armored cars with heavy machine guns, 1 remote weapon system CSK, 2 of the ZBLs, which we saw do great work the past couple days as well, 1 of the ZBD tracked IFV, and then 1 ZTZ 99A on a delay, 2 helicopters, 1 on a delay, and up against the support. I'm very surprised to see it, but I like it. 3 Logis, 3 transports, 2 of the 50 cal Humvees, 2 of the 240 Humvees that cannot pin any of these armored vehicles, 1 LAV 25, 2 AAVPs with the 50 cals and 40 mics, 1 Abrams, the M1A1 variant, and 2 helicopters. So expect a front line to kind of develop, or a turtle situation where you're going to try to maybe bait these vehicles in, these infantry plays in from TacTrig and Ukraine. You can see, already marking out very This is, I don't want to say that it's a
Try
pub
not to shoot
strat,
the friendly heli
because
down,
it's obviously
Crystal.
very, very good, but you have an
already had that
ATGM way up north. Now, this was very common before the ATGM overhaul recently, so we'll have to see how effective it is.
Last game, dude. Every day, there's at least 2 people that say it. It's
All
gotten
right,
very old.
so down to the southwest, spawn up into Tog Sarai, then Bahadur, Darbon, Syed Abed is the middle cap, then to Aliabad, Lower Tara, and then Upper Nazrat.
We'll blame Crystal again.
I already said I'm gonna tell him. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
know
I'll
yet.
shoot it down, and then MoiDawg, you blame Crystal. Yeah, we agree on that.
You do what I call it. Little jokes. A lot of players taking taking that first round team kill from the helicopter on Gorodok. Having fun with it. Tactical Triggernometry adding one of their own helicopters to the vehicles that they've killed list to open up the games last weekend. Ultimately did not really change anything, to be honest, as we get an official rollout here. And a good split. We have, I believe, 2 Logis. You want to get those ATGMs up quick. You're also going to have to get some more map control on the south side. Squad 9 Frost heading straight over. They want to get eyes on these ATGMs early.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
The lab is going west road. Logi west road. They don't even know the fucking cut down, dude. They're just actually taking the road on the west. GG.
LAV's putting shots on me.
GG.
Yeah.
Drizzle.
There's a Logi right behind them.
They're,
That's all I see on west road.
I guess, making fun of there's quicker ways to get down here. So I guess making fun of the Ukraine Unity's choice to use roads instead of these off-road paths, which would get you a bit quicker. And I'm actually
Mike, bro, we're far behind you.
curious as to what they're shooting at. Other side. I wonder if these rounds are actually hitting. And that is some... not necessarily guesswork, but with all
Felix, watch that hill
the
on my
fog,
mark
you're
to
kind of
my
just trying to
north.
get eyes on shadows, on silhouettes, see if anything lands. You can see, I mean, Squad 9,
Any helicopter movement?
Vex and Drizzle.
I don't have one yet. I just did a fake landing on toe spot.
There's a Humvee going down southwest road. Their Logi is slowed down significantly because I shot him.
John G's, man.
Okay. Enemy vehicles.
And that's the first fight. John G's, man, might... Man, oh, no, they drive right by. And they managed to strafe
Hold on.
that
Sinister.
Humvee really well. I
Hold on,
believe that's a remote weapon system.
Sinister, can you
DJ
just
Sway,
face
John
dismount,
G's, man.
find
Oh,
the
dismount.
referee
That's the
lines.
hat kit as well. Pluxury
Helos up,
LUV
moving towards
is
Box
down as well.
Following.
Foma, oh, he's just
Both helos
nearly
active. One of them's
goes
copy.
down,
Okay,
saves
that's
himself
right.
with a bandage.
Go fight over area northwest of you.
And
Green
Opes
lines,
now
you're
has the
covering
AT, and oh my goodness, DJ Sway gonna mop it up with that CSK, and Opes might get himself a kill on the MTLB or AAV as well. Pops it, and that is a great pick on the east road by DJ Sway. Opes coming around,
MV
and if they can also get this LAV,
Squad 9 move.
or this AAVP rather, but 50 cal, he's now going to try to chase DJ Sway,
Rough marker for the LAV.
and Opes is going to attack him right from behind. Oh, and they're trying to going to go for the helicopter. That might be huge if they're able to do it, even if they go down. And able to just get out of the way, Jabba.
Lab's north of us, Felix.
Look, like about
I'm gonna peek over this.
AV looks to be okay. Opes with a shot, and does he track him? He does.
I'm just gonna peek.
Pink Panther and Zero. Wow, perfect timing too. Rolling right by with that transport. You see the gunner up top, and now Kisme and Mori, they are not in a good situation. You're going to have to cause or get a lot of assets over here if you want to help save this.
They're about same as us, I think.
And we're going to let that happen as Pink Panther and Zero. Kaplan got eyes on that transport coming in. And Pink Panther and Zero, based on how the caps are going, they're guessing it's about a mirror match. They're trying to push up. Upper Nazrat secured. But you can see that ATGM start to creep up.
Yes.
And Kaplan now taking shots. Pink Panther goes down. Zero trying to run around.
Infantry on radio tower.
Okay. Let's get
Enemy
Irma,
ATGM up
if you can
on the
keep
map,
going.
southeast side.
And Zero's going to be able to get right around that rock. Should be able to bandage. And now Kaplan, you see ATGM. We can hear those shots off the screen to our right, actually trying to take down that ATGM. And if they're able to, oh wow, that's a big loss on supply, minus 600 supply before a shot is even fired.
We are 90% cap here. This will really tell us what's happening here in a sec.
You can see they're waiting for that Bahadur cap, because once they see it and they see it Darbon, they have an idea that, hey, this is probably the central layer that we guessed it. Now Zero coming around. Otto doesn't seem to be looking the right way here, and shot Zero somehow just manages to miss and dodge, and he's going to be on a radio sniffing mission.
Flags are going up green line. I'm bringing my Logi up to Malak.
Purple's making a play for Aliabad.
Micro, we're burning.
Micro, we're burning.
Just wrap.
Trying to see exactly
So Wolf is
where they're
gonna
at.
load up. Wolf's
Crystal,
gonna fight over
they're burning
Ammo
out on the field here. Looks like AT. Oh, and they miss them.
Kerma's gonna hold center lane, and Sinister
And I think they flipped. Oh, they did. Micro and Crystal flip. And hit with AT. That's the type of luck Ukraine needs. And Cud coming in. Sinister, though, behind him. And good infantry coverage to hopefully save this ZBL for Micro and Crystal. Smoke out, trying to do something, but the flip.
On Darbon. Can someone else come do this though instead, so I can get back to
Oh,
my
wait,
bit?
sorry.
The flip, I'm trying to look at even AT, and you have Trivny.
Yeah.
Now he might have good eyes on this. ZBL is going to flip back up, and a good smoke to prevent any more AT, and that might be just enough to get them out of harm's way. Logi up on the north side.
Can you save my transport?
Oh, no, no, no.
Yes, will do.
Yes, 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 actually. They're going to turn back around. I thought they were going to go north towards Trivny, and they hit another AT. Very confused. I don't know how that missed? Hit? I think Trivny just took a shot in the dark and managed to hit the sand and dirt next to Crystal. Crystal and Micro, they're very, very lucky to be out of that one. Hit multiple times by AT. Actually ran over a mine because they were going so fast. I don't think it did any damage. And they're able to get on out of that. So, Zero, though.
Okay, guys. On Malak, any thoughts? Which fob crate do we want to build on?
Michael and Maverick go down for Tac Trig on radio. And ooh, Otto does manage to get Zero here, so good shots on that, trying to keep that ATGM fob up. Now you finally have the ATGMs. You got helicopters scouting. Both helicopters up for... Oh, this is both helicopters up for Ukraine, actually. They're doing double ammos, trying to get that ATGM fob up. ATGMs have a bit more like a 2,000 to 2,500 meter range now, so definitely want to use that to their advantage. But
we have an AAVP fucking us here. If any armor squads can push up here and help us quickly on Hazura.
Let's take a look at the map real quick. Nazrat secured, Lower Tura secured. Now Ali Abad, Syedabad are the caps. Syed is actually the middle cap. And once again, you can see Tac Trig has way more of a front line. They have way more map control. And in
I'll have my guy captain next
the attempts to try to get these ATGMs up. It looks like UF managed to relinquish a little bit of that map control. AAVP now should manage to mop up Killjoy, and Killjoy is just going to dismount, hopefully not going down with the ship here, and trying to go on the inside, make sure he just doesn't get more tickets there. And there goes the grenade. I don't know why they're not going for this kill.
UAV just got shot out.
Probably turning the corner, then should get that 50 inside and mop up the CSK. Not killing the CSK here would be a huge mistake, and no, they do finally do it.
What's up, Wolf?
Shots going off with the lav.
We need armor support on the AVP.
Ooh, AT, that's Ops.
Try to bypass.
I think it was Ops from way downtown too. And it was, what a shot, Ops with that hat kit. And Askit trying to defend
Be laid out.
that ATGM fob, and instead gets himself tagged by Ops, and Ops knocks out Kaplan, and that's going to be a fob wipe. Oh my goodness, I think they were able to dig it down, John, or not John G's, Pluxury AKG. Wow, able to negate this ATGM fob before it even really gets going, and 281 tickets to 271.
How's this fob crate look?
And hold on a second, pardon the quick camera movement,
Risky.
because we just had a helicopter.
It's kind of open to their side, but it's
Chris, what do you have?
He's floating around with no pilot. Might have had a power outage there for Ukraine. Unfortunate if that in fact did happen.
The only other option is the other side, which I think we just build on point.
To look at the long front line that's starting to develop. This eastern side, however, southeast side, is not going well for Ukraine. Syed Abad now being secured by TAC-Trig, and you can see the amount of resources they're using, I think, to set up these ATGM fobs. Might have been a good idea in theory, but with the fast-moving ZBLs, as well as the infantry that now have a lot of control over the valleys, it's just
Okay,
not going well.
Help me deal with this AVP. It's not leaving and it's fucking us.
Okay.
You can see, I mean, the map presence, the map control, Zakafel, he hears this. Logi, this is actually crazy.
Humvee to your Humvee to your Reece mic.
TAC-Trig are everywhere. And the way that they spread out their infantry and get those eyes on the objective,
Full
very
Humvee
impressive.
and AVP.
As Ukraine Unity Frontline, does Zakafel have AT? What exactly is he know? He's a rifleman.
Humvee's dead.
As we hear the ZBLs open up and they just kill a Humvee on that southern road. That was the AKG Humvee. That was the team that tried to set up this ATGM fob. And look at this. The wrap has begun. Eastern flank is falling. And Ukraine Unity Frontline is once again, they're scattered.
Deal with it.
Look at all the blue here. I mean, this is...
AVP stationary.
Hey, there's a nose somewhere to the south. Can a heli or anyone spot that?
Looking for it.
This is what they're talking about. Tianka.
East, west, and more
Karma.
information.
Are there still enemies on
southeast
Radio
somewhere.
Tower?
Roger. Oh, look.
Are there enemies near you right now?
ZBL's coming in. Crystal and Micro able to knock out this AAV.
AVP's dead.
And they lose another AAV.
We're gonna dig down this Habam on Zai and move it up to you, Chris. Once is that good to go?
Pull supplies. We're not in a massive rush to dig it down.
No, once my next lodger run comes in for ammo.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm just gonna drop into the river here.
So vehicles rolling through the center of Kohat, and you can see
Likely our ridge. Heard the shot.
it's not a mistake. I haven't hidden the fob radius. You're looking at this right. Ukraine Unity Frontline has no
I got marked it
team
pretty
spawn
accurately,
up at the
somewhere
moment.
around there.
They're stuck with rallies, using a lot of their resources to these
Check there. It's somewhere
to these ATGM fobs, and now we're going to look at some infantry fights as Maverick tries to push up towards the next point here. Maverick pushing up, Holy Pimp laying right underneath this hillside. Maverick is going to turn on him, but he's sprinting too hard, unable to stabilize, and Holy Pimp with a nice
Get rid of that.
little snapback. Maverick goes down.
Yes, it's on the ridge. It's
Uh-oh. This is O for UUF.
Marker, but it's good enough.
ATGM.
I've wasted 4 of their shots. They should be low on ammo.
Okay. I can't see him from my point of view down here.
Oh, LJ.
Let's
Kill
see.
that, please, and take it down. Find the radio.
And that is John G's man, DJ Sway. I don't think they even see him. And this is going to be unfortunate. So, banking on the ATGMs, and this ATGM might actually come back to bite him. Tianka, I thought he was actually seeing this vehicle, but you see the rally dropped right behind him, and now DJ Sway and John G's man coming up the hill. And they're going to have a perfect shot. I don't think they even have another person on this hab. Tianka, once he goes down, that's GG. Radio will go down too.
Larger one coming in for more ammo.
Felix.
We're both
Yeah,
still, so.
Can I just drop full ammo?
Getting top of Charlie and then I'm...
Kilo RTB, I'm gonna bring more supplies
On top,
for a
on
rep
top.
station.
One enemy heli down.
Yeah, we need ammo for
Do
this.
you see
one
another
side
or
up.
is it just him?
2
Come
minutes.
on,
Drop
border
all
rally.
ammo.
Tianka dismounts just in time. Local comms making sure everyone's on the same page, and Tianka goes down, and that is going to be an overrun ATGM fob, and you might actually want to hold on to it for a second. 55 ammo, so they have 1 ammo left, and you now have 1 infantry
We have a larger with 2,000 coming in.
scattering out, and looks like, did they see the radio? Either way.
If someone can
Check.
detect
Yeah, I think I saw
more
radio
western
over
approach.
here, or heard radio over here. DJ Sway headed towards it, so that is going to be overrun, and that's going to be the 20 tickets down for Ukraine Unity Frontline. And this front
Wolf.
by TAC Trig is just getting stronger. They are losing a little bit of the eastern presence. Squad 8, AKG, Pluxury, LEV, pushing down over here. We'll get down into this push. But I do think Ukraine Unity Front have finally gotten a hab up, and they have. So we'll actually, the active point right now being Lower Tara, which is only Ukraine Unity's second point. So TAC Trig with their map control causing a lot of pressure, and now we can see Marcinik down on the top of the hill. Mortars, these are TAC Trig mortars coming in and pinning down Holy Pimp. Mad Mac running around the backside. Oh my goodness, and Holy Pimp goes down. Mortar landing right on his back.
No, don't
So the idea is, yeah, we get...
Go to my move. Go my move. Go my move.
Yes, yes.
And goes with the full auto, misses 3, 6, misses 9. Mad Mac unable to knock on 0. Might hear the PLA behind him, and now 0 going in, and Arc has no awareness of what's going on. 0, he's laying down by the Logi. He misses his first burst, but not the second, and now he is in, and he sees that radio. 0, gonna do that little C4 super shovel wombo combo.
Yeah, we're good to rotate to TV. Should we just rotate up?
Takes it down to the amount he knows is needed, and now he's gonna just camp this radio here.
LAV Squad 9 observed. Someone mark that for me, please. He's letting me up.
Yeah, I got it.
321 tickets to 216. You can see infantry, the red outlines, Ukraine Unity front line, collapsing in on this radio. C4 down, and 1 had tried to get the shovels out and actually kills 1. Kills, oh, just barely misses Nico. Rotating around, he's gonna go guns blazing inside, and he does! Huge play by 0. Getting his shovel out again, and he's gonna start digging it out. And unfortunately, unable to finally stave off the attacks, but Ukraine Unity front line. Oh, the mortars are now landing, and did they actually kill him? Oh, they did. The radio. Oh, Holy Pimp able to do it. The radio nearly going down. Infantry all around. You see the additional mortars just a little too a little too far, but what a set of plays by Zero. Now they know where that radio is exactly, preventing the team spawn. And east side still starting to be a little bit of a nuisance for
No UAV right now.
attack Trig.
You did?
We need to have somebody reacting to this northwest.
I am. I've said it.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I'm worried about dying to the hat that just shot at us.
And this is what they're talking about. Micro and Crystal bailing out from this hat kit on the northwest. The northwest push. You're starting to get what was a really strong front line for attack Trig. Ukraine, they are digging their heels in and starting to get infantry back on the northwest side of Ali Abad, breaking this this encirclement. And it's part of the pressure on the east side, part of the pressure on the west side, but also the hat kits causing these ZBLs to start to rotate back. Sala and Ingvar now pushing into the point. Couple tanks fire at one another. The Squad 6 in the ZTZ way out northeast, and Pink Panther Jackson way out northwest. Gonna be a duel unless one of these ATGMs, Quasi, can get it. Squad 12 on their trip back from knocking out that mortar fob, or ATGM fob rather, 188 tickets to 303. Looks like a very large ticket difference, but a cap here, and UUF can get 60 more tickets to the good.
Kerma, you want HE or smoke on point?
And infantry, this is a very good push here for Ukraine Unity Frontline. You have a couple responding to it, Config and Revenge Raider. You heard it on comms earlier. They're worried about this northwest, and they should be. There is not much resistance right now for Ukraine. If they can get a few more infantry, ooh, and as I say that, AT actually knocks... Oh my goodness! Mathmaster, no way did he just do that! Knocked out the AT, or knocked out the Humvee rather.
Because the lab, we can't do anything without the lab leaving, and there's a logi here. Okay, just give me a second.
Some chaotic comms now coming out from TAC Trig, but you can see Ukraine Unity Frontline, they're getting a bit more confident in their pokes, and now they are capping Ali Abad.
I'm in the flag. Wolf, just chill. Don't worry.
Wolf,
Sorry, my bad.
Wolf, come west to the road and get an
And
APC
Kaplan,
Kerma, keep pushing flag.
Who's the APC picking me up?
Kaplan going to be on these mortars if he's able to not just hit the mortars but also the radio. Sauce about to get burst fired, and he hears the radio. Kaplan now in the radio room, and this has gone from bad to worse to TAC Trig. You're going to have infantry for TAC Trig
Mark is accurate for mortars, guys.
now to collapse back in this radio position, because they are they did manage to break through. Enough infantry pushed out west that they were managed to break through on the Lower Tara, but good rally, Squad 2 rally. This is Ukraine Unity Frontline rally pushing in, and now Command has to push in and knock out Zakafel and Sinister in order to keep this TAC Trig double neutral attempt.
Hits micro, thanks.
And Nico goes down. Zakafel with almost no health. Arc does mop him up. But TAC Trig, they don't have many numbers, but they have just enough, and they're also on nearly on the radio here.
MV stationary, squad unobserved. Someone mark that, please. They're dropping around.
And
rotate the
now with the pressure on Lower Tara, Ali Abad is now no longer a complete priority. Obviously, you want a double neutral, but you need infantry to protect. And hold on a second, AT, right as we open up the map, Crystal and Micro get smacked with Hat, but they're going to be able to, I think, get away. Trivney needs to make a shot. I don't think Micro and Crystal have lost a vehicle this tournament. And Trivney might have a shot here as he goes down the road. Needs to aim it right. One mid-arms.
Guys, the area east at Kilo 7 at double red lines, how hot is that? Is there still armor there?
Trivny is going to line it up and probably just send it, make something happen.
Frost, is there armor east?
Nope.
Moving now to find out. I was trying to pick up the rally spawn on Elliot, but I will
And
likely
both
die
teams
scouting this, but I'll
able to fight off the
Don't die
attack.
for
Just
it.
really good chess match right now.
Felix, just bring Wolf
An attack
right
here,
into Lord
defense
Tyrant
here.
so that he can
Squad
grab the
1,
rally.
Kerma with Sussy.
Just 50 cal
Right up
fire
the green
from
lines,
Squad 9 move.
overload the flag.
It might be Abrams Top Gun.
Alright.
And
Yeah,
we can
Abrams-
see the
Abrams
radio is
got that
now on
damage.
bleed out. Maverick digging that down. Arc is down, and Ogneshik able to try to come in. Nico on the backside, and Lupine Dominus also has marksman on the hillside. But you have enough infantry inside that Maverick and Sussy, they can probably prevent any attacks, and Ogneshik goes down, and that's probably going to be a radio kill unless Nico has anything to say about it.
Good stuff.
Can I get a rally, or do you guys want me to hot drop?
No, just get a rally.
One is coming by
Okay.
that guy on the north.
They hear the footsteps. Nico needs to try to make sure this radio doesn't go down. 291 tickets to 171.
I'm gonna
Splash the wall, HE.
Helix, can you drop me on the...
And, ooh, Sussy gets a burst fire from Nico, but they are able to knock out Kaplan.
I'm tagged though, I have no patch.
And Nico pushing around. Radio does bleed out, though, so Sussy
Close.
and Maverick did their job, and, well, they finished it off, too. Sussy gets blasted by Maverick's GL, but it doesn't matter. And that is probably going to do it. I think that was Ukraine's chance to knock out Ali Abad, but they needed to hold on to Lord Tara. They actually had a really good push, but managed to lose a couple infantry fights.
I think
And what was about a 2-on-3 ended up being a 2-on-0.
Inside, we cap it.
Wolf and Kerma are going to be on the flag.
Oops, did he just hit what I think he hit?
We don't need more than one squad. It's free. It's completely free.
Got it. Well, Wolf's
Looks like he did hit the
That move,
Abrams.
Squad 4 move marker could be rally point, like I'm marking it. It's a question.
Yeah.
And AT hit him in as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll keep it up for...
And another AT round impacts.
When you guys get the chance, please...
You now have a tank fight going on.
that are marked on the map, free tickets.
But unfortunately for the Abrams, they also have
Alright, so Robbie's gonna come up into Lower
AT
Tyrant.
coming in as
That's
well.
gonna be the next permanent hold. This Bad Radio is just temp.
Capping one chef.
This is going to be another long-range fight. I mean, you can barely see that ZTZ holding up. And they just need to get the engine up. I actually think the AT might have engined the Abrams from the get-go. And, wow, Abrams needs to get out quick. Back up on the hill, and one more impact by the ZTZ to try. Wow, good.
Robbie's on the way with the Logi up there.
Nearly pushed him
Sinister
up.
setting up
Pushed
flank
that
on
round
X
just
point.
back enough to make something happen.
Take moving
Popsic and
south.
Soldier with Otto having to completely hide themselves in between these different as some mortars also come in. Pack Trig always just Johnny on the spot with those mortars. But ZTZ still might have one more shot.
Enemy Logi, Squad 9 moving north. Sorry,
Maybe
northwest.
just enough
Squad
smoke to
4
finally
going
get
after
out.
Azra. The rest of us are
288
making sure
tickets to
Tyrant's alive as well.
116. The infantry fights have been very, very effective by Tac Trig.
Logi marked accurate,
As we
moving
saw,
west.
just a couple of infantry able to push into fobs, and this looks like a game plan that
Hey, guys,
maybe...
missed some of it. What are the chances of us getting this tank kill? Or did we get it?
No, I
Nope,
didn't
Squad
think so
9.
though.
Squad
We
9.
are one chef capping.
Okay, let's...
And that's not going to help it either. Tianka and Reaper, well,
Keep your infantry inside, Wolf.
and oh, another Logi coming in, and this is now,
Tank marked accurate, moving east.
well,
Tanks heading back to Rad.
too many logistical assets have gone down, I think, for Ukraine Unity Frontline to
Second
reset
Logi
themselves up
moving,
here.
Squad 9 observed moving south. Likely second toe fob. Squad 4. Squad 9 move. Enemy Logi. Copy.
Ukraine definitely spread themselves a little too thin, having just one or two more infantry. Oh, here comes a Hongjon missile, and it's going to impact. And it does. Wow. Managing to hit Askin and Leshy. They're on fire and they pop. Great shots. Crystal landing that ATGM and then mopping it up. And that is 3 vehicles down in quick succession for Ukraine Unity Frontline. And it looks like we might still have to wait for that game 3. Ukraine Unity Frontline just about knocked out unless Ukraine, or unless they can do something absolutely crazy here.
Karma, especially with the tank RTB, I'd say you're good to keep pushing.
ATGMs have just been a non-issue. And we're going to stick with the vehicles here because we have an AAV coming in. That's going to get maybe dumpstered here unless the AAVs or the ZBLs are actually going down south. And popping a bunch of HE Navarro's going to go down a high explosive. And they are circling the wagons again on Upper Nazareth. AV coming in, and this is risky here. You don't want to lose another vehicle.
Just have.
Tank stationary at rep station.
We're gonna cap in 10 seconds.
Cap in 10 seconds, and they are already on the hab here. You can see if you go back in how the game started, too much infantry out here trying to set up an ATGM. ATGM set up here, ATGM set up here. And they do manage a kill on Quick and maybe on Sinister and Blizzy Ukraine. But they're now just getting farmed on the hab here. You can say let's proxy the hab, so they're pushing in, and that's going to do it here.
If possible, we hold on to it just a little longer. My guys are there.
AV coming in, and Ogneshik and Nico, not sure what their plan is, but they don't have the type of firepower to deal with these ZBLs.
Squad 9ers are moving north side now.
And the Abrams is actually on a full back. Very interesting, though, because there's a repair station here. Maybe they just thought it wasn't safe enough to be on this repair station,
So Robbie,
and they don't want to waste the tickets.
It's a rep station at Tyra.
I will do.
Transport squad 9 move northeast. Let's get again. This has got 5 infantry in it.
They said I don't have AP for that either. So are they going with HE? Oh, they're actually going to try to flip it. They don't have the proper ammo, and oh my goodness, the bullying. Oh, and they pay for it. ATGM finally lands. Got a little too aggressive. Trying to flip that AAV, do knock it out, but they do finally lose an IFB, and there's a second one! The sneaky ATGMs finally show up, and Alexa Nightfire, oh no, sorry, that's one of our staff members, Sweet Ducky rather. Sweet Ducky with the ATGM
I'm good.
from the top rack. And well, it's 64 tickets, not over yet, but you're going to need a lot more to happen. Either way, good ATGMs.
Yeah, good. Yeah, perfect.
And they do have one more, I think. As we have now Drizzle and Vex coming up the road. And now I don't think they really realize where that ATGM is. You look on the map, right in front of us is Drizzle. ATGM almost completely on the other side of this hill here. They're going to creep up. Once again, I don't think they really realize, Tac Trig, where they got killed from. Probably, honestly, at this point, you know the tickets, you know where you are. Probably having a bit of a laugh after bullying that poor AAV.
We'll burn that rally.
And
Nice, good job.
you can see Sweet Ducky, he's actually waiting for it. Whoa.
Yeah, that's great. Observe as AVP.
Sweet Ducky trying to get another ATGM shot as we see the wire going a little bit wonky, but not able to, I think, land on anything. Either way, ATGM. Oh, the radio. That's what they're actually hitting. ZTZ has actually dialed in on that radio, and that's just some great tanking. Sweet Ducky trying to see if he gets a shot on it, and he's not going to. Now we see Drizzle and Vex on the other side here, as the infantry are just now spilling over, and you don't really have any resistance at the moment. Upper Nazrat neutral. And here is pretty much the last chance that Ukraine has to stay in this game. You need to not only knock out all the infantry, you need to knock out the vehicles, and then recap the point. Drizzle and Vex, I think they're trying to see if they can get eyes on this. They do have ATGMs. But if they're baited out, then Sweet Ducky on that ATGM himself can knock him out. Infantry pushing in. Clarkson down underneath the bridge. Mathmasters, Kerma, Star Crystal, Zero, Squeeze. They're all pushing in. And there is not a single alive Ukraine Unity Frontline infantry on the objective. They have a couple outside of the objective. Zero takes a Abrams blast to the face. He eventually goes down. But 31 tickets.
Be careful, fucking Drizzle. Tow missile.
Yes, I'm in cover.
I don't know if they can see you. Okay. Then
And they called it. I think they actually hit something.
I know.
Jack John and Pink Panther actually nearly hit.
He whacked me.
So Sweet Ducky keeping the armor out of it. So at least Sweet Ducky able to keep the armor from completely collapsing on the point, and they do lose that radio. So no more radio on the objective, and it is a neutral cap. Now Tac Trig no longer pushing, or no longer have the numbers to full cap it. That might not even matter here. If you're Ukraine, you just want to try to hold on, play for respectable into this, because 300 tickets, and here comes the ATGM angle. Jack John and Pink Panther need to be careful. You have not only the Abrams to worry about, but the ATGM from above, and Sweet Ducky should have just about an angle now. Abrams going to smoke and bail out. Jack John is trying to close in for the kill. They get this kill, and it's about, well, even more GG than it was a second ago. Ooh. Abrams just barely dodges it.
Took flat me, I got the ammo out on fire.
Thank you.
You can see they now have the double ATGMs actually.
Right.
Finally took all game to take advantage of those double ATGMs, but they finally have them up. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do much deflection off the top turret. And with 22 tickets, oh, the ATGM hits them. And they somehow didn't track. The second ATGM misses. I do not know how they didn't track Jack John and Pink Panther. Ukraine Unity Frontline need to make some big plays here. ATGM out again, and they miss. ZBL, or ZBD rather, now opens up, and Sweet Ducky goes down. Second ATGM trying to go out. Abrams goes in for the kill. Jack John was hit once, but they're able to engine the Abrams. That might save him, but no, it's not going to. Poopsic, Soldier, and Otto might be able to get onto Drizzle and Vex. You just need to send it, and they do, and they engine him too. Might have one more lucky shot through the smoke to make something happen, and they miss it. Drizzle and Vex.
Do you get it tracked?
Oh, and they're calling him tracked. Look at this, Micro Meat Man. Just right on the backside. And they might be calling in for an airstrike. Just try to end this here. What with the...
This line, it's just people shooting from...
Abrams needs to be careful though. Drizzle and Vex, if they're engined. Oh, and it goes out with repair. Auto. Oh, and it's a hat kitted. 3 tickets, 2 tickets.
Driz, heli flying over you.
And there you go.
Enemies on radio.
Fucking wreck.
GG's 266 tickets to 0.
Absolute GG.
Absolute GG indeed. 97 kills to 50. Both teams really struggling, but the vehicles playing more into that. 128 downs to 99, 44 revives to 21. All right, we are on board with 0.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you? Congratulations.
Thank you. Doing well. Can't complain. Can't complain after that one. Certainly not.
So, is it going to take until a championship next week for us to get 3 games out of these best of 3? Very surprised. I think that both these ones ended up today being 2-0 games. Are you surprised? Did you guys have a game plan and that's exactly what you saw today?
I predicted both of the games this weekend would be 2-0. For today, for us, ultimately, it was definitely harder than last week, right? We did face some resistance, but we also pulled out a little more of the stops. We felt a bit more organized. Not everything went perfectly today, but overall, we never were on the back foot at any point. I think everything we tried, it worked.
So talk us, before we get into maybe the specifics of the matches, we were tuning in to y'all's pick bands. You said we saw something this morning that might change our mind on something. Do you mind sharing that? What is that?
I actually would. I'm going to hold it from you. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. But we were investigating with some of the kits on various factions, and we noticed possibly a bug or something that popped up in the last update, the last hotfix. I'm sure there will be some things about it, but I'd rather not give it away at this time. But it's something that made us not want to pick a certain faction.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, it is, I guess, good to see, especially now we're in the second weekend. There are some units that you definitely see that are now more favorited. We're seeing a lot of PLA picks this weekend after last weekend's. That bullpup, I think, now being favored. But the pick bands, did they kind of go y'all's way again with both the units and the maps?
Yeah, I would say none of our first choices were banned, and as far as the maps, we got the 2 maps or the 3 maps we wanted to play. We got them in the order we wanted. So we came in with the exact priority of maps that we got played. So we felt very prepared in that regard. Every single faction, I was confident with. There were certain bands that, maybe I wish they didn't do, but there was nothing that completely caught us off guard, completely destroyed our game plan. My PowerPoint here goes pretty deep in terms of what we can afford to do. Backup plans in all cases. But
awesome. Okay, well, let's first take a look at the Mutaha game. Mutaha, first, why USMC on Mutaha?
So the 3 labs and the 2 AVPs obviously are just really hard to beat. The Russian motorized faction that they took is probably the strongest matchup to that. But when we look at that, right, my logic is we've got the labs versus the BTRs. Those go head to head, but I'll take those 2 AVPs over the 2 Burnhams. And I think that kind of checked out armor-wise. It's what we saw. And then also we're maintaining the mobility. Obviously you saw that we were very, very quick and aggressive on rollout. We went straight to their side of the map, and we played it like such. So I think that with the fact that we were able to maintain the speed and the firepower with that faction is really where we went with that unit.
Yeah, we did.
I'll go with it.
We did see not just the vehicles. We saw y'all. I think it was Zero yourself. Your squad was up in the second point almost immediately. A lot of shift W by the infantry. The map control that y'all had was pretty impressive. Do you think that would have worked on any of the layers that you faced? Any objectives? Was that your plan, just to get infantry in these houses?
Yeah, I mean, we've played Mutaha a lot. We know, the rate at which we can move. The USMC Humvee is faster than any of the Russian vehicles, so we knew we could play very aggressively with those two vehicles. And then once we had intel early that they actually were pushed up not as far as we expected, we were able to go even deeper. And I don't know if you saw, obviously, I went way back to the back line and knocked out their radio very early because we expected a bit more presence, honestly. So we were planning to be aggressive, but I mean, that level of aggression, it's hard to plan for. We weren't expecting that.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a few of the maybe just misplaced Ukraine Unity Frontline units was definitely for your advantage in the beginning. And then by the time, if we talk about the middle game a bit, y'all actually in a good position all game. But at least from our side of things, we were in Ukraine Unity Frontline comms. It did actually look they had a pretty good middle game trying to get that midpoint. But every time that they would start to push in, the vehicles would just circle back. Were you guys concerned at any point throughout this Mutaha match?
No, we weren't concerned. I mean, the main thing that's different from this and traditional, maybe what I'm used to is not needing to win by a certain number of tickets, right? So for our logic, we weren't trying to do anything too insanely aggressive. And we thought maybe there were opportunities to push earlier and to gain ground earlier, but why do we need to if we're up by 200 tickets? So we did let them gain some ground in some cases, but we always had people on the way and always had armor on the way, something ready to deal with it if they did gain ground. So.
Awesome. Great. Well, okay, so Mutaha, aside from maybe the end there where it did start to feel a little more domino-y, I think we all expected the games to be a little bit more like this. A tough matchup, one side having a couple good fights and it eventually going to a win. Kohat, first of all, why did y'all pick Kohat? This was your map pick.
Yeah, so nobody wants to play Kohat, but that makes it better to play Kohat.
Yeah, it was banned. It was banned or the best of 3 for every round last weekend.
Yep. And that I'm sure everyone was expecting that it was going to be the third or banned this week. But ultimately, we did some prep for Kohat. We did some studying for Kohat, and we knew the way we wanted to play it. We had a very clear game plan, and I think we executed it pretty perfectly. The weird thing about Kohat is, there's so many ways it can go. There's so many different places the points can go, and you kind of have to be able to adapt. But we figured that a lot of teams wouldn't prep it as much, figuring they wouldn't play it. So we just knew where we needed to be at the right time, and I think probably most other teams didn't.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, Kohat, even now with map voting, the pub games, on the servers, it's not picked as often as it has been in the past. This is one of the OG maps that many experienced players have played, but you don't see it that often at all. I do think the objective seemed very favorable for everyone, thankfully, if they didn't have as much prep as you guys did. But early on, we were concerned that these ATGMs might rule the whole valley here, but that wasn't the case. Were you guys deliberately trying to negate that from the get-go? When you see this matchup, what do you think?
So the biggest thing obviously we looked at was they're going to try and use the toast, right? Why else would they be picking the faction? My initial logic was we did send some units in the back line, myself and some of the flank players. We immediately got on the one Tofob on the east. There was one far up north. But that one we didn't really care about as much because the line of sight wasn't really scaring us. So we got the first one down that worried us, and then once that was down, we weren't really too worried about it, right? It obviously limits the way how we can move, right? It limits where we can send our armor, but as long as we're cognizant of what their line of sight is, that it should be easy to handle. And I felt that they were not that big of an. They were at most an inconvenience for us more than anything else. They weren't really a threat.
Yeah, and it did. Ukraine Unity Frontline. It did seem like their plan right out the gate was to get at least 2 or 3 of these ATGMs up, and that way you can kind of shield yourself, let the infantry in. Y'all didn't even lose a vehicle, I think, until if we don't, at the very end, we I think you did lose a Humvee or something early on. That's neither here nor there. But your IFVs, and that honestly losing that vehicle, it was more of a power move trying to flip an AAVP. So it didn't really seem like anything was really worrying your armor crews on Kohat, which can actually cause a lot of problems for Vix.
Well, and that's the thing is it comes back to the prep, right? Is we knew exactly where we could drive. We knew where their toes would be, assuming they placed them, right? And none of them were surprising. That's why we were already on one on rollout, right? So we kind of knew where they would be. We knew where we could play. We knew where we couldn't. There is a lot of the map that our IFVs were not able to traverse because they would have gotten killed. But as long as you avoid those parts of the map, they can't have a toe everywhere. The biggest threat I'd say is they had a lav later in the game that was kind of locking down our infantry pushing Thyra. But even then, right, we worked around it, we got in, and we did what we had to do.
So at the end of yesterday's games, we had a big call out, Squad All-Stars Germany saying, Zero, we're coming for you. Your shovel, your C4, we're coming for you. Obviously put the shovel and C4 to work today. Looking into now Squad All-Stars Germany next week, how do you think those games are going to go?
Well, first of all, I'll give them my respect. I did think that we'd be seeing them at the final. That was my prediction. I think they are the strongest team here. I think a lot of these guys have been in situations like this before. I think they're not going to crack under pressure. They've got strengths. We've got strengths. I think it's very likely that this is finally the game that goes 3 rounds. And I'm predicting right now we'll be on the 2-1 side of that. But it's going to be tough, right? We're going to be doing a lot of research ahead of time, studying our layers, studying our units, going over everything again, making sure that we're doing everything right. And obviously we have a lot to review from these games. But the last thing I'll say is, I know they made a specific address towards me. SAG, just so you know, my C4s are stacked. My shovel is pristine. But it's not going to stay clean for very long because it's going to be covered in your blood next weekend.
There we go. Okay. Love to hear it. Any last words for those of y'all, or for those out there cheering on TAC Trig next weekend on July 7th?
Per usual, I'll do the same thing, guys. You see the comp, it's a great game. It's really enjoyable. I mean, you hear how passionate I am and all the other team leads are. If you ever want to get involved, you know where to find us. So.
There you go. Thank you again. Congrats again, Zero. We'll see you guys next Sunday for the championship. And cannot wait to see 3 games finally of a competitive squad. So congrats again. Good luck this next week preparing.
Thank you very much. Cheers and see you then.